Okay, so Rwby episode 12. I've already skipped over the intro. Kind of hyped for Hazel. Not so much for Cinder standing there, and it looks like from where I've skipped to, we're getting the preview at the beginning of the episode. But let's see. Started the play. It's around 120 something, 140 something. And here we go. This was my problem with the preview. They're all just standing there while Jean does his own shit. I mean, I like to see the villains that actually do something, and they're just standing there. And we're confirmed Oscar is in control, not Ozpin. So Oscar just bitch slapped Lion up.
Rwby, get up! Get up! We need you!
You're letting that boy make a fool of you.
That's not just a boy!
That's us. Yeah, this is where the trick. This is where we got hyped for Hazel, because we want to know his motivation. We want to know his backstory. He's seen the cane. It's freaking Ozpin. Yeah. Come on, boy. Deliver. Give us something good. He's going, no. Rwby's awake. Is she? Maybe disorientated?
Oh no.
Oh no. So he's going to be a badass somehow.
You could hide from me.
Wonder what fighting style he's got. Yeah, Crow's like laughing. He's like, why are you stripping, dude? He's got dust crystals. Dust crystal. Oh! Whoa! Oh, he's Bane. Is it weird that I think that he's Bane? He's injecting dust into his veins to get stronger. Oh, his voice is bad.
Ozpin is here?
Oh, Cinder's figured it out.
I'm not sure. Right now we've got the upper hand.
Yeah.
Well, let's not waste it.
Let's not waste it.
Leo,
Yeah.
open the path to the vault.
Wow, so the path to the vault's out in the open. Ah, it's a statue, yeah. We all knew it had something to do with the statue. It's the only freaking, like, big thing in the bloody place. And his time opens... The little clock opens... and it's smart around the belt. That's... Yang's still just standing there. Everyone's attempting to the wounded. Rwby's gone back to sleep. How you got it covered? You haven't got it covered. You're just sitting there, Nora. Wow. I like this.
You're going to have to get
Go Emerald, Mercury. Oh, she must be better use of her semblance because she's using it more and more. Before it gave her a headache to use it too often.
This is bad.
Yeah.
No, not again.
Speak to me, Ren. This is bad. Really?
Make sure they leave Rwby.
Captain Obvious?
This won't take long.
But Cinder being like good and bad is... Leave Rwby alive. Like she was unconscious. You could have stabbed her instead of Ice. Really getting sick of this Rwby Cinder shit.
No! Oscar, I told you, no!
What Oscar get...
Let me take over. I can handle it.
Yes! Let Ozpin out.
Myself.
Like, you're gonna have the whole life ahead of you fighting your own fights. This is something Ozpin needs to take over for. He should have taken over back at the Lionheart thing. God, Hazel's fucking done up voice is shit. I'm actually curious how old Hazel is as well. Because it will say about like what generation, what was going on. No, the war was too long ago. No. Killed her.
Gretchen Reinhardt was Hazel's sister. Despite her brother's wishes, she enrolled at Beacon Academy to become a huntress, and tragically lost her life on a training mission.
Really?
Hazel holds me responsible.
Really? His whole motivation
I know he's wounded in a way that cannot...
for joining a genocidal bitch, the ultimate evil, is my little sister died on a training mission trying to become a huntress. This is the big problem with the show. Yes! Yes! Oscar's saying it! It's the risk of being a fucking huntress, you stupid shit.
She made a choice.
Wow.
choice to put others before herself.
Yes!
So do I.
Yes! This is weak motivation. This is dumb. Any hype for Hazel's dead. Especially the grown-up generation. Like, some people would just sit here and go, that's his motivation. He's taken over. I know, you can hate Osborn, but that's like no reason for joining the ultimate fucking evil. It's really weak.
I don't know what we can do.
Wait, what are we gonna do? Come on. Semblance. I'm waiting. It's got to the point where they've milked it for as much as they can. Just activate, please. It's shining. It's healing. It's healing. It's either aura replenishing or just some omnipotent bullshit. They're going down this long ass elevator.
Are you nervous, girl?
Oh. Yeah.
The first maiden in... Well, I'm not sure anyone knows how many years. Is about to open a vault.
That's a good
I would
point.
say it's quite an exciting time.
Yeah.
Don't you feel honored? No. I'm not concerned.
But there's actually no proof that these vaults haven't been opened every time a new maiden exists. Like, just say a maiden gets her powers for the first time, right? And they're like, oh, we want to check that, you know, you are like official maiden. Yeah. They probably open the vaults a few times every time a maiden becomes a maiden. The vault? Wow. So it's not like Beacon where it's like all these long ass corridors and shit. It's just a platform with a tree. But this you see in a lot of anime, the tree usage for power.
It's certainly grander than Beacon's.
Whoa. It's
I
grander
wonder what the extra effort was for.
than Beacon's. Is that the reference to the vault because, you know, it was just corridors? And this one has like a shiny tree and it's all like lit up and shit? Or... because does that mean Cinder has technically found... yeah, it can't be a reference to the actual chamber because they haven't found that yet, maybe. Or maybe it's just not that easy to get into as easy. Not a big fan of Hazel's fighting style as well. It's just simple brawling. It's not an action. How much does he have? Lionheart, his shield... dust runs out. It's why Weiss has to replenish her revolver on her sword. Which is actually a good point for Hazel. Although he's injected himself, he's gonna burn out. Like Bane, after a while he burns out. Dust doesn't last forever. I do like Osborn's fighting style. I'm a big fan of fast, agile styles. That's why I like Tyrion. I mean, he's a very simple and basic, based on what type of villain he is. But his fighting style is really good.
What happened? What's going on?
Oh, shut up, Ruby.
It's going to be okay. She seems
If you used your semblance once in a fucking while, you wouldn't be in this situation. God, Yang's struggling. Use your head, love. Whole point of your father training you was for you to use your head, and we saw it with the bandits. God damn. But on the other hand, Mercury going all out. He's not holding back, so I don't know. Yeah. It's proof. Yep, you got speed, you can get around Hazel. Ooh, he's line? Oh! Crow. Oh! Jesus. That's like a Batman reference. He's fucking just punched him into his freaking spine. He broke the crow. He broke the crow.
Oscar needs help.
I'm on it.
Ruby, tell Jean, don't stop what you're doing, but lifts his hands off the hip. God damn, Ruby, you're an idiot.
Make it happen, Ranger.
Ranger. God. Oh, so we're gonna get Mercury and Emerald versus the sisters.
You okay?
No. I'm angry.
Ooh, Ruby's angry. Triggered. Proof she's becoming a female teenager. I mean that in a funny way. No, I'm not saying anything about that. Someone told me a joke about that, and that's just what I remember. It's almost like the flowers on this tree are made either from the relic or dust. That's a theory I have on the relics, that they're made of dust in its most purest form. Like it's just like constant channel dust that maybe doesn't run out. There's a...
Oh, come now, Raven. Let her enjoy this.
Well, good points in the look.
Once in a lifetime experience.
Well, as I said, we don't know that it's a once in a lifetime experience. They might be coming down to check on the vault every time a new maiden's born.
Places her hand on the door, it will open. For you, and only you. Then I will walk into the vault and retrieve the relic.
That sounds like very Indiana Jones. Like, you get the person who's meant to open the door, open it, and then someone else walks in and it triggers some bloody self-destruct sequence. I would laugh if that fucking happened.
Vernal, when you're ready.
I don't know. Everyone has like a love-hate relationship with Cinder. Similar to the one you have with Adam. You know he's an asshole, but you know he's a motivated asshole.
You know,
Go Raven.
I've heard so many stories about you, Raven. They say you're a cunning leader.
A leader?
That you're strong.
Hang on.
That you're clever.
Do you mean in reference to her being a bandit leader? Or was Raven the leader of Team Stark?
It's a shame that they're wrong.
Whoa! Whoa! That's the first time we've seen her use... Oh no, she's used ice. Or was it glass when she shot the shards? Oh, Vanal's fucked. God, you two got fucked.
It's nothing personal, dear.
Rwby did that? Rwby not only took her eye, she took her fucking arm? How powerful is the fucking Silver Eyes? She's getting out. Raven's getting out. Is she draining her? This isn't the same with Amber.
What is this?
She's not the maiden.
Where's the power?
We were right.
You won't
It's Raven. Raven's a fucking maiden.
Is that the spring maiden?
God damn, and she's seething with power.
I am.
God damn. That, you see, this is what I was saying about cliffhangers. You need a good cliffhanger. That's a good cliffhanger. And whoa. Hang on. Let me just pause this. Artwork's alright. No, that's why I don't say anything about the freaking animation artwork anymore. It's freaking brilliant. Raven's Maiden. Crow went to Raven asking if she had the maiden. So Crow doesn't know that Raven's the maiden. That's one thing. Raven went to Beacon, but the maiden ran away from Mistral. And she was a young maiden. Raven would have been around the same age back then. Take 10 years off her life. She would have been young. But she didn't go to Mistral. And Lionheart did not recognize Raven as the maiden. He was under the impression that Raven's tribe and Raven had kidnapped, taken in the maiden. So it's possible that Vanal was the original maiden, but she's not dead. Well, it's not that they've never openly said Vanal's the actual maiden. What it could be, it could have been someone else. But then I think Lionheart would have actually have to have met the maiden at some point when she was younger. I know people can change their looks and shit, but like when they walked out of the portal, it's not like you went, "Ooh, you brought Vanal," or "You brought the maiden back." It's never that happened. So, a few different ways I can go this. Vanilla was not a maiden. It was some other woman. But it says isn't last thoughts that a maiden has before they die is where the power goes. So was the original maiden taken in by Rwby? There's so many. It's a giant plot hole. It's a good plot hole. It's a good plot hole because it can be explained. There's different ways they can go about it. It can be simple power transfer. Not simple. It would have to have a good reason behind the power transfer. Like, we've got the Grim Glove right now can do it, but there must be other ways. And we've seen the chamber at Beacon that can transfer aura over. Not so much powers, but aura. So there are ways to do it. How Raven would have got. She's not the original maiden. I don't think she was a maiden when she was with Team Stark. I don't think she's a maiden when she was with Tai Yang. I don't think she left Tai Yang because she was a maiden and she didn't want to put her family at risk. That's a very good way to do it, but I don't think so. It just seems more she's inherited the power than she's actually taken. Yeah. Because then if she was the original maiden the whole time, you're like, wow, we didn't get much of a reaction out of friggin' Light. Yeah, there's too many bad plot holes, like bad things. If Raven ends up being the maiden, she's been the maiden the whole fucking time. That it's gonna leave a lot of question marks in the air. So I think she's got the powers after the so-called maiden that ran away from Mistral, whether it's Vanilla or someone else. But it's good. That's good writing, taking time. It's got a great plot hole. That's a good plot. Rwby's like notorious. The writers are notorious for friggin' plot holes, and half of them are bad, half of them are good. So it proves they know what they're doing, and at the same time they don't know what they're doing. Wow, going into this, the big hype was Hazel, and he's dead. His hypes die. Any chance you had of redeeming this man? God damn. I joined Ultimate Evil just because my sister fucking died. Like, how many, ask me this, how many children died at friggin' Beacon, at the fall of Beacon? You're supporting your so-called, you're supporting Salem? How many people died at fucking Beacon? How many people have died just so you can get, see, that's a personal grudge. That's a personal grudge between him and Osmond. It doesn't link him to Salem. It's like he's just switched sides of a war. You've gone. I don't see Osmond as good. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, but personally, as an individual, he's not good. He's evil as well in his own way. So you can't say he's gone. He's joined from good side to evil side. He's kind of like gone from one evil to another, because in a war there are no victors. You suffer losses on both sides. Read The Art of War by Sons. I don't know where the fuck that book's gone. When I moved, a lot of my books originally were at my sister's place before I found my own place. So I've lost a few books. They're lost somewhere at her freaking house, and I've only been over to her house a few times, mainly because of work. Yeah, Hazel, goddamn, and Bane. He pretty much took Bane and just, instead of Venom, let's give him Dust Infusion. You know what was the genius? I mean, you want to make him interesting, so it's an interesting power, but it's also weak. He's slow as fuck. The moment he injected, he's slow. The only reason, like, if he hits someone, it is very damaging, but it's like only if you hit. The only reason he hit actually Crow was because he was being double teamed. He got shot in the back by Lionheart, and Crow had to get in. Like, it's very dumb. This is what I say. Simple. I like Tyrion. He's a very cliche villain, because it's the classic cult worshipping. He sees someone as a friggin' god, and he's a murderous son of a bitch. So it's like you've taken Carnage from Spider-Man, who's a murdering son of a bitch, and you've given him a god. But I do love his fighting style. As I said, I like fast, agile heroes. It's not bad to be strong, as long as you have a certain style that actually benefits you being strong. Such as in like a Street Fighter with like Zangief, or proof that, look at Saga. He's using Muay Thai. That's a very fast fighting style, but very striking jabs. That would have been freaking interesting to see Muay Thai put into Rwby. That would be a mad fighting style. What I get from when I see Tyrion is kind of like Capoeira mixed with Voldo from Soul Calibur. And smart weapon, smart fighting style, add the poison stinger, and he's about to get like a robot, probably one, or he could have even a fucking grim one. Who knows? I think they're going towards robot with Watts. I mean, if Cinder wanted to, she could have given him a fucking grim one, which would have been very interesting. But yeah. So it's not like I like Tyrion's motivation. I like what he is as a character. His type of character is something that doesn't need a complex backstory or that. Watts is still intriguing because we know nothing about him, and he's a scientist. I'm actually really interested where they go with that. Cinder, she's a classic power-hungry bitch, and she's sacrificing parts of herself at a time, technically. I bet you, when she started off, I'll have unlimited powerful and be so beautiful, and now you've lost your fucking arm, your fucking eye. Grimmer, kind of a turn-off. It's like I can see memes popping up already where it's like you go on a date with Cinder and then you find out she's got a grim arm and you see the guy just run out the fucking door. But yeah, out of the four people we've seen sitting at the table with Salem, I'm not going to judge. You know, we don't know enough to actually judge. So what is intriguing, what we do know, we want to know more. That's the feeling we had going on with Hazel. We were intrigued. We wanted to know more. And now that we found out, it's just like, this is dumb. It's like I've always said with Rwby episodes, you can highlight the good and the bad. And good, excellent plot twist. They're at the Maiden. You know, you got good stuff out of her. Emerald using her semblance. Bad stuff. Hazel's the flop of this fucking episode. I mean, it's a genius idea for the dust infusion, but I would have gone what was it Mark Zane did, and something that was theorized throughout a lot of the Rwby community. Mark Zane just animated it, was the dust infused clothing. I mean, you can turn around and say, oh, that doesn't make him interesting. You could have given him a different motivation. This is horrible motivation. One, your sister died. Because you've also had Oscar come out and just said the most basic fucking thing. The moment he says, oh, my sister died, the one thing that popped in my head is like, that's the job. That's the whole reason I don't like Rwby. She should have been aware of death from day one. From when her mother died. It's like, you know the risks becoming a huntsman-huntress. You can't sit here and just blame... I blame Osprey for the training mission. That's actually a good callback because a lot of people... it's become a meme in Rwby. It's like you go to school to learn how to fight monsters, he launches them off a fucking cliff into the forest. and then you get the so-called training mission where they went to... Where Team Rwby went with... Is it Oobleck? They could have died on that. So, yeah, it's a dangerous profession. It's like becoming a cop. Just because you're a cop doesn't mean you're not going to get shot one day. You join the army, you could get shot one day. You do anything, you can get shot. It's the threat. So it's really dumb motivation for Hazel. So already his character's out the window. You can shit on Adam all you want. The fandom does it a lot. I like him because like you need that villain. And at least Adam's motivated. You can toss up between he's motivated for fairness rights, or you know he's got this love jealousy shit going on with Blake where he wants something. It's edgy meets actual motivation, so it's what makes him interesting at least. So you can shit on. And to the people that just simply say they hate Adam, it's like, dude, he's a fucking villain. If you hate him, he's done his fucking job. Good job with that. So, yeah, Hazel, I think, has become the least favourite villain out of the fucking series. Yeah. But, awesome. Episode ended on a good note. It ended on a freaking good note. So you feel good. It makes you want to rate the episode higher despite its faults because it ended well. But, only one last thing. I'm not going to go on. This is the last thing I'll say. It's, inconsistency with, episode time. When they do their next season, have a 20-minute episode at the beginning, have a 20-minute episode at the end, and have every other episode without intro, without outro have a 15-minute standard animation time, and I will shut up. Because you put guidelines in at that point. You're like, we're giving you 15 minutes. Rwby will never be longer than 15 minutes to this. And or they could do 2020, gives them a lot of room to work with, but it means they'll have to up their ante. They're going to have to hire more animators and shit and get shit done. But it's like, that's one of my main issues with Rwby. I'm like, this volume, as good as it's been, we've gone 20. The episodes got smaller to the point where we were only getting 9 minutes of fucking animation. Then they've started to go up, and then they've gone down again, and we're right at the end, and you're like, we've been getting like 15, 17 minute episodes, and now it's jumped back down to 14. You take away 3 minutes for intro, outro, so it's down to 11. Then you get the preview, which is a minute and a half, and now it's down to friggin' 9.5, and you're just like, what the fuck? That's why the episode went by so fast. It's just like, what's left? It's like that's what you get with traditional shonen. You know, you get the preview, you get the intro, the outro, but in the end, you're still getting between 15 to 18 minutes of solid. You don't know what the fuck's gonna go on. That's where Rwby needs to step it up. It needs consistency. But overall, good episode. And I'm not gonna go into more than that. Like, the more stuff I go into, it's just gonna get worse. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. Disappointed by Hazel, redeemed by Raven. So hopefully we find out a lot more about Raven. But I do want a big fight scene. We're getting Maiden v Maiden. That's what they could name it next episode. Not Maiden vs Maiden. You know how we had PvP for Volume 3? M vs M. M vs M. Just do that. M vs M. MVM. Maiden vs Maiden. Dead set. That's what they should do for next episode. Fucking hire me, Rooster Teeth. You fucking cannot make this show great. Alright. Bye, everyone.